Hey, Warrior Saints. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. Father Chris here. We talked yesterday about footprints, and people got mad at me because I don't like footprints. But the funny thing about footprints is that as it tells the story of the hero's journey through his life, that when they get to the rocky parts, there were two sets of footprints, him and Jesus walking along. But when it got to the hard part, Jesus picked him up and carried him. And my point and my contention with the Footprints poem is that Jesus doesn't do our work for us, but it's that when we do things His way, we find ourselves traversing through that chaos, through that darkness and the hardships and the challenges successfully, just as Christ went through His hardship, meaning the cross, unto an empty tomb, life eternal. So too, if we follow that way, we'll find ourselves navigating through it. And this is not some beautiful idea that Father Chris noticed, right? Like as if somehow I'm exceptional in my dizzying intellect to find and discover all these crazy things that are wrapped up in the truth of the gospel. This, I think, is inherent in human minds, right? Like all the stories, all of our good stories, the ones that we love, they imitate the cross of Christ. They imitate the Jesus story. Perfect example. Let's talk about Star Wars. And I'm not talking about the stupid new ones that just came out or the stupid other ones before. I'm talking about the real ones, the first three. The real Star Wars, right? Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Ben Kenobi, Stormtroopers, Death Star, the real story. And as you see, it's a perfect mimicry, or at least a very good mimicry of the gospel story. There's Luke, who starts out, excuse me, he's kind of a lost kid. Jesus was never lost, but he was lost, Luke Skywalker. And as he traverses through the arc of the story, he faces hardship and eventually has to confront his nemesis, Darth Vader. And they have, by the time the story goes all the way through in Return of the Jedi, the third installment of the original Star Wars stories, there's this epic sword battle, lightsabers, between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Should I do that noise again? Anyways, right? There's the lightsaber battle. And in this moment, at the end of it, I'm sure everyone has seen the movie, but if you haven't, forgive me as I'm going to ruin it. But at the end, the evil and dark Emperor who wants Luke to come to the bad side and become a dark Jedi, he's taunting Luke, who eventually overcomes his nemesis, Darth Vader, chopping his hand off, right? And instead of submitting to the hate within him, he also has a philosophical or an internal struggle, an internal battle that he conquers by not destroying and killing his father, going to the dark side. As you know, he throws away the lightsaber and he says the following: "You have failed, dear Emperor. I am now a Jedi like my father before me." He had the skills as a warrior, right? He won with the sword, but he also had the victory internally in that he did not submit to darkness and evil. And then, of course, the Emperor zaps him with electric juice, and all right, if you know the rest of the story. But it's a fascinating image for us, this movie, because this is how our brains think. There's a guy, a hero, who has to fight or face a challenge or a nemesis, right? Which is, in this case, the Darth Vader character. And he finds a guide. And in this story of Star Wars, Yoda is the guide. And you all know Yoda's little pointy, green ears. And he's this wizened guide who has gone before Luke Skywalker in the ways of the Force as a Jedi, and has trained, has studied, has even trained in others, tutored others, and has become a master in this. And his job is to take Luke through the battle of his life with Darth Vader and come out victorious on the other side. That story, we'll see tomorrow and Friday, is replicated in all the good stories, because that's how our brain thinks. In fact, our lives are story. In a real sense, all of our lives, we're on a journey. Our life story is a journey. And we may not be as dashing as Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia, but we're real. And we have our own challenges and our own Darth Vaders that we have to confront. And in order, to overcome them and find success on the other side, really to become a warrior saint. Like, you cannot get all the way through to becoming a warrior saint unless you face that challenge, that hardship, right? And everyone has to have a guide, a Yoda, who will help teach them the ways, in that movie's case, of the Force so that they can conquer the bad guy and end in success. What we're asking is, let me be your Yoda. Let the way of the warrior saint teach you how to live a crucifixional life so that when you face whatever your monster may be, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, stuff at home, stuff at work, physical health, depression, anxiety, whatever the burdens that we carry are. When you're fighting with them, when you're trying to become a warrior saint, you need some help, you need some guidance. That's why we exist. God put us here for that one purpose. Let me be your Yoda. Join us at warriorsaints.org. That's all it is. Click the link. Join us. Subscribe to the Way of the Warrior Saint. We're going to give you, maybe it's different than the Force, but it's not any less life-changing. In fact, it is the truth of the gospel life of Jesus Christ and his cross. That's the only thing, baby. The only thing that takes us through death, through the empty tomb, into life eternal. Hope you join us. Way of the Warrior Saint. What are you waiting for? Click the button. Love you. Till tomorrow. Keep walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.